Hello and welcome. This is Hlessjonedu. Welcome back to my Java tutorial. In the last tutorial, I spoke about creating, compiling, and executing, and we broke Hello World down, and I explained the various parts. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about errors and some more about conventions. There are three types of errors that you will run into while you're working with Java. Compiling errors are found at the time of compiling the program, and they prevent the compiler from translating the code created into the .class file. This will display an error message that will try and tell you why the error occurred so that you can fix it. The second type of error is going to be a runtime error. This error occurs when the program tries to perform some sort of invalid operation. For example, division of a number by 0 would be an invalid operation. There's also logic errors. These are probably my least favorite type of error. Everything will work because the computer does exactly what you tell it to do. But there is an error in your logic, and for some reason, when you add 1 plus 1, you end up getting 3. This is an error logic. Take the opportunity to learn from your mistakes. As a programmer, you will make mistakes. Lots of mistakes. And then later, you will make even more mistakes. You need to take the opportunity to learn from your mistakes. I find that I often learn more from my programming mistakes than from getting everything right the first time. Before I go into the next chapter of the tutorial, I wanted to talk a little bit more about conventions. In some situations, you will have to follow conventions very strictly, but this tutorial is not one of those situations. I do think it's a good idea to have a basic concept of what conventions are, and to develop at least the beginnings of a habit of using conventions. This will be very helpful in the future if you ever work with others. So, comment conventions. I would suggest you start every program with comments. Officially, Java suggests the program starts in this format: class name, various version information, date, and copyright notice. But I modified it and made up a suggested list of class name, your name, date, and short description of a program. It's just for developing the habit, and later on it will help you, as you go back to your code, reorganize and recognize what's going on. When we are working with variables, technically I could include the name of the variable and then a long list of variable names after that separated by commas. But the style guide suggests that every variable be given a separate line. This will also make it easier to quickly find and identify variables in your program. Also, the guide suggests that spacing and tabs be used to clearly separate sections and parts of code and comments. This will be invaluable as your code grows in length and complexity and makes it much easier to read. Finally, I wanted to quickly talk about naming conventions. While you may not know what all of these are right now, I just want to mention them so that you can be aware, at least aware, that there are very definitely naming conventions in Java. Variable names should start with lowercase letters and in mixed or camel case. Methods should be verbs in mixed or camel cases. Class names should be nouns and start with a capital letter and then should be in mixed or camel case. And the convention for constants is that constants should all be in uppercase letters with an underscore between the internal words. Look below, you'll find links for more information, including the website which has homework for this lesson. Thank you for joining me. This has been Hlessjonedu. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you around.